And salutations, friends. Welcome to episode 10 of my Mega Man 2 Revisited Let's Play. I think we're on Wily stages 4 and 5. That's what this episode is going to consist of, if I remember correctly. Sometimes I get the numbering mixed up. They don't really tell you what the numbers are. So, and I don't really count. Although I do for the guide, so I should know. I actually don't have much of an excuse. I like this area because of the giant fish that spawn out of the pits here. Sometimes they don't appear. I think that might be because there's like a certain tile that you have to step on to trigger them. And sometimes you don't. Passing through this really made me nervous. Like, I can't tell you how many times I messed that up trying to record it just because I was like going, oh my god, I can't screw up, and then I like kind of overcompensate a little bit. I'm not a big fan of this here because it's kind of like they just try to hurt you as much as possible before fighting the boss. Doesn't really matter much if you're playing through the game normally using E-tanks or dying or whatever, but if you're trying to go through like a perfect no damage run or a no death, it's not easy killing those things before they hit you. I'm a big fan of Guts Tank though. He's one of the coolest bosses in the game. I've always wondered why Wily keeps bringing Guts Man back. Also, there's some Japanese writing on the back of Guts Tank. I don't know what it says. I was also demonstrating the Crash Bomber in here. As you can see, if you shoot his raised fist with the Crash Bomber, you can do some pretty massive damage to him. And it's very funny. And that's it for Guts Tank. He's dead. Except we have to fight him on difficult now. I think I just used quick boomerangs on difficult. I wasn't trying to get fancy there. Of course, we ignore all that shit. You want to save your Crash Bombers. Most people, though, could probably bust the walls down and collect the items behind and refill the Crash Bomber. But I don't even need the items, so there's no point in getting them. I'd like them. I would have liked to have used them, that's for sure. Sometimes these self-imposed restrictions are kind of brutal. And you'll see why I wanted an E-tank. Also, that fish there did not spawn. That one did. So there must be something that you touch that makes them appear. Which makes sense, like they have to have the event trigger somehow. Or they could just have them randomly going up and down on their own. And they want it to be a surprise. As much as I enjoy this game, there certainly are some technical problems with it. We see, like, some of these level designs are just, I don't know, what are you thinking, guys? Especially the next boss. Probably the worst boss in any Mega Man game. I know people hate the, what do they call him, the Yellow Devil or the Rock Monster. And he certainly is a doozy to fight, but there's worse things out there. And what the hell was that? I don't know if you guys heard that. There's something out of my window, like, screeching. Some kind of bird or something. I'm not used to that. For many years I've, like, lived in the city. And, well, I technically still do, but it's, like, on the outskirts of town. And there's a lot more, like, nature around here. And yeah, that's some kind of, that might be a crow, actually. Anyway, getting a little distracted. But yeah, so I quick boomeranged him here. And he's dead. And Mega Man just blinks. And here we have Skull Castle. I kind of kept these in just for the sake of, I guess, exposition. A little drama. Now this area is a bitch. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And the Boobeams, I think that's what the boss is called, at least that's what it's listed as, and that's what I put it in my guide as. The Boobeams do not change depending on your difficulty mode. I think they're the same regardless of whether you're on hard or normal. And that basically means they're the same, like, pain in the ass thing to fight, really. And I try not to take any damage here, because you're going to need every little bit of health that you can get. I don't think I succeeded, but I did a fair enough job that I was able to get to the Boobeams and defeat them. There's also invisible pits. Like, you have to jump over these spikes here because you'll drop through the floor, which is like some Castlevania Simon's Quest bullshit. You can at least like use the bubble lead to find the holes, kind of like how you could holy water through the floors in Simon's Quest to find the gaps. Of course, that was no fun at all. Here it's a little more bearable because I don't do it constantly. I'll have to do Simon's Quest someday. Probably not going to do like a no-death run of that, but I'll have to visit it. It's one of those games I'm putting off, though. Of course, we have to jump a certain way through that. They try to kill you, like, really hard here. I remember reading through the game atlas, which I used for this playthrough, and reading something about quick beams in these areas, which thankfully don't appear. Like, I couldn't imagine trying to do this with quick beams. Like, are you kidding me? I don't know, maybe the Japanese version had something like that. That would be pretty awful if they did that to their players. Like, yeah, you might be able to beat this level if you practice enough. Or if you just have, like, inhuman reflexes. Or superhuman reflexes. That's probably a better way to term it. And screw this, I'm using the rocket sled. We have a lot of these guys in here too. Like, they really want to make you take damage before fighting this boss. Which is one of my criticisms of this game. They made things maybe a little too hard in some places. And I don't consider Mega Man to be like a hardcore game. Like, it's more like moderate difficulty for the most part. Maybe on the easier side. Actually, now come to think of it, about it. But, you know, they made some of this stuff pretty hard. The first Mega Man was kind of brutal too. So, I actually forgot to reload my crash bombers here. And it gave me pause. I was like, oh shit. I gotta go get weapon energy. I was not happy about that. I wasn't even sure what to do. I was like, maybe I'll make this guy respawn and try to kill him. Then we had that guy. I was like, oh no. So I tried to kill him real fast. I got really lucky, got the weapon energy, and was able to refill the crash bombers. As far as I know, you need every single one if you're going to beat this boss. You can also do a trick here, and basically you change your weapon, have Mega Man teleport in just before they fire, and the teleport will actually save you from taking damage. I tried to do it. It didn't work out for me. I ended up getting hit. But I wanted to demonstrate it. I was able to pull it off here and there, but it's really difficult. You can't do it while the crash bombers are out. You really just have to kind of hope for the best. Luckily, it gets a lot easier to dodge these guys when most of them are dead. I barely squeaked by here. intense stuff, and there I got him. I think he was just about to fire, too. So yeah, that is it for normal mode. Next we have difficult. I know this is a slightly longer episode than I've been doing with these Mega Man 2 episodes, but I wanted to make it a little longer because, well, I don't want it to drag on forever, honestly. We still have the boss rush, and we still have another like mini stage after that. And I'm probably going to combine them as well. I got a little twitchy there and tried to avoid that. And we'll see how difficult goes, because these are usually the first ones I record. When I do Mega Man 6, which I'm going to actually start today, I'm going to do the voiceovers as I play, which is what I usually did. I pre-recorded this for some reason. I don't know why. I just kind of ended up doing so. It's mostly because I have kids and they're loud and they're running around the house. And I kind of got to get this in when I have the time and when the kids are not running around yelling and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I pre-record the footage, because I can do that basically whenever. It's finding quiet time to do these voiceovers. It's a little different. They're a little difficult. I might actually start doing some no commentary videos here and there, partially for that reason. I'd have to find games that lend themselves well to that, however. So, Leaf Shield's really great to use here. It's one of the few times I actually find a use for it. I'd also consider using it in Crash Man stage, actually, if you fight Woodman before Crash Man. It's very helpful there. Now, you can jump onto that platform to get over there, but it's risky. I try to minimize the chances I take. It's simply because one mistake can ruin the whole video. And if I were doing like a full-on no-death run where I'm playing from start to finish, I would certainly not take any risks at all. These guys take a lot of damage, really, when you're on normal mode. Now, you really kind of have to use Heatman's weapon here if you want to get past this without getting hit. That was another thing that I kind of didn't like. Like, did you really have to do this, guys? Like, I think they were kind of just having fun and messing with the players at this point. Because, like I said, this is an excellent game. You can tell it has a certain energy to it that makes it a lot of fun. But at the same time, like they were kind of having fun with us doing getting in some cheap shots, I guess you could say. So this is basically the same thing. As you can see, they really knock you back really far with their shots. It seems unnaturally far. Once again, another reason to hate these things. I'm really kind of just trying vainly to avoid their shots at this point. Oddly enough, I did better here and took less damage. I think I didn't squeak by. Like, I can only imagine, well, I do know what it was like. You know, when you're younger and you're playing this game, and you're probably doing it on normal, when you come to these things, it's like, whoa, what are you doing to me? So yeah, that is it for this episode. We've completed the main portion of Wily's castle here. There's just the boss rush and Wily himself that we have to handle next. And the end of the game. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I will be back with more. And until next time, good luck and happy gaming.